Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing really great. Okay, as all of you know that in Andhra Pradesh, the exam dates are out for APPSC JL and DL for the Botany and Zoology, and it is expected that in the government of Telangana also the notification is going to release in the month of June or July. In least cases it may expected in the month of the August. Okay, in this particular session I am going to explain you everything about this particular Botany and Zoology JL and DL programs, and I am requesting everyone, please focus on the session till the end. In this session specifically I will deal with the botany program, and in the tomorrow session I will be dealing specifically about the zoology program. So we will be discussing about when the batch is going to be commenced. We will do the complete syllabus analysis from A to Z, and I will completely explain about what kind of study material that we are going to provide, and what about the test series, when the test series is going to be commenced. And this session is really helpful for the aspirants who are very serious towards cracking this particular dream job. Okay, stay tuned till the end. Okay. First batch is commencing from the April 4th onwards. Okay, the timings will be mostly flexible timings according to the aspirants. Most of the aspirants, either timings will be early morning 5 to 6:30 a.m. again in the evening 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. because most of the aspirants are currently working, and some people are housewives, some people are working in a different sectors. So we will keep the classes according to the convenience of the aspirants. Okay, and these timings are not fixed timings. I'm just giving you the tentative timings. The exact timings I will give you by April 3rd or 4th. Okay, the first batch is commencing from the April 4th, and the second batch is commencing from the May 1st. When it comes to the fees is 20,500 rupees. Please kindly don't request me to reduce or to give the concession in the fees. You will get extremely great quality of the teaching that ever seen. Who are really inspired or who are really aspired to crack the exam, I encourage only those students to enroll in this particular course. What all you are going to expect in this particular specific course that is starting from the April 4th. You will get complete live classes. Live classes happen through the app. In case if you miss the live class, you can access the recorded classes 24/7 365 days. Okay, apart from that you will get the study material. Now most of the students will ask me what kind of study material they are going to get. So listen to me carefully. I am going to provide an MCQ book which is exclusively written for the APPSC and TGPSC, exclusively for the botany and zoology programs. Okay, this book contains nearly 4,000 MCQs. The MCQs were designed like this. The MCQs were designed easy level, moderate level, extra difficulty level of the questions. This is extremely useful for all the aspirants. The zoology book is going to be released by 10th April, and I will be giving only 1,000 copies, only 1,000. Okay, then botany book is going to be released on the 15th April. This is also having only 1,000 copies. Right, and details or a price of the book, you can download the app or you can contact us via WhatsApp. We will provide all the details. So we will be providing only the MCQ book. Apart from MCQ book, of course, we will provide complete class PPT. Okay, I never use the word 100%. I am saying that 90% our PPTs are extremely useful. I can say that most of the questions can be covered directly from the concepts of the PPTs itself. Moreover, listening live classes or recorded classes and gaining extreme depth of the knowledge on the specific subject is more important. I am not providing any unit-wise specific study material. My PPT is itself 90% sufficient to all of you. Apart from the study material, apart from the PPT, I will also provide you the short notes. In that particular short notes, the specific units and the specific important topics were covered based on our APPSC syllabus. Apart from this MCQ book and apart from the PPT, you will get complete chapter wise test, and you will also get a complete mock tests also. And most importantly, most of the aspirants will be studying in the night time, right? Some aspirants will be studying in the early morning. So for your convenience, we will be having 24/7 chat assistant through our app. You can post your doubt at any point of time. At any point of time, whatever the doubts you are having, you can post through the app. You will get the reply within 20 to 30 minutes with a crystal clear explanation of that specific doubt. Right. So once again, I'll summarize, friends. Books are releasing. The botany book is releasing by April 15th. There are only 1,000 copies, and zoology mastermind book is releasing on the April 10th morning onwards. Whomever require the book, you can place the order via app, or you can contact us via WhatsApp. All right. Now, how to study? You tell me, friends, how many number of days we are having to prepare for the exam? As you all of you know that, let's consider like this. June 16th onwards, the exam timetable has come. Let's consider June 16th is the final date. Sometimes you also know, no, government may postpone the exam, but we will keep June 16th only the final date. So how many days are there? In April you have 30 days. May you have 31 days. In case of June, you have 14 to 15 days, which means, friends, totally you will be having only 75 days. Is it really possible to crack or to cover the entire syllabus in the 75 days? Of course it is possible. It is possible only in that case, those aspirants having a good basic knowledge. I believe most of the aspirants who are writing for this exam, they already completed the masters. Even some people are already working as a junior lecturers. Some people are already working as a degree lecturers on the contract based, which means that you are really having a very good knowledge on the subject. So with that basic knowledge, we will teach extreme depth of the concepts towards the application manner. Undoubtedly, we can cover entire syllabus in the span of 75 days. Covering the syllabus and helping you in every step of your preparation it's our responsibility. Your work is that you have to work dedicatedly every single day. This 75 days, if you really want to crack the exam, right now I am saying to all of you, minimum 7 to 8 hours you have to work dedicatedly, then only you can crack it. Because do not think that questions will come very straightforward like a 2016 or 2013 model. Now the questions will come extremely depth questions will come. So questions will come from application based. So it is very important you have to focus from very basic to advanced level. Now let's come to the syllabus analysis chapter wise. I believe few days back Sai Prasanna madam did the analysis for a few chapters such as bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, algae, plant anatomy and embryology. I will be doing the syllabus analysis of core topics. Okay, now let's start with the plant physiology. Plant physiology is one of the most important chapter for the botany aspirants. Why? Because you can expect I am talking least 10 and maximum it may go up to 15 to 16 questions also. So you should not leave even a small part of the plant physiology, small part also. When we consider the plant physiology, the first topic will be the photosynthesis. You can consider there is no question paper without the question from the photosynthesis. The questions they may ask from the light reactions also. The questions they may ask from the dark reactions also. Compared to light reactions, friends, most of the time questions will be asked from the dark reaction, especially C3 cycle, C2 cycle, C4 cycle, as well as the CAM pathway. It may be a enzymatic reactions, it may be a comparison between the C3 plants and C4 plants, or it may be how C4 and CAM plants are avoiding the C2 cycle or photo respiration. So the question may be application based question may be a numerical question may be an experimental based question. When you consider the light reactions, friends, most of the time questions will come from cyclic photophosphorylation and non-cyclic photophosphorylation, especially from the electron flow. Apart from this, there is no other way of asking the questions. Now next, mineral nutrition. Sometimes they may ask the question from the mineral nutrition, they may not ask the questions from the mineral nutrition. But I encourage all of you, I want you to give a little importance to the mineral nutrition, especially which mineral nutrient acting as a cofactor for which enzyme or which protein. An example, nitrogenase is the major enzyme involved in the nitrogen fixation. For the nitrogenase enzyme, which cofactor is required or which mineral nutrient is required? Molybdenum is required. Suppose example, what happens if there is a deficiency in the molybdenum? So that kind of straightforward questions can appear from the mineral nutrition. The next, another very important topic, friends, solute transport. Again, there is no question paper without the question from the solute transport. Here they may ask the question from the xylem transport, that is called cohesion tension theory, right, or transpiration pull, and they may ask the question from the phloem, especially for the bulk hypothesis or the Munch hypothesis. Most of the students, they won't read deeper structures of the xylem. Here you have to read how does the xylem classified, xylem parenchyma, xylem trachea elements further classified into tracheids and vessel elements, phloem further classified into phloem parenchyma, phloem sieve tube elements, sieve cells. You have to read their anatomical structure also, how does the structure resembles, and what kind of mechanisms are involved in the transport of water, what kind of mechanisms are involved in the transport of sugar. Every single point we have to read in the solute transport. Now if you ask me which is the biggest topic or the toughest topic in the plant physiology, in the plant physiology, I can say to all of you, plant hormones is said to be the most important topic, and I can say it's a very biggest topic. Last time whenever we were discussing for the Telangana TGPSC JL and Gurukula JL and Gurukula DL, we focused very thoroughly on auxin, we focused on gibberellin, we focused on the cytokinin, we focused on the abscisic acid, we focused on the ethylene. Surprisingly, friends, the questions were asked from the brassinosteroid, the questions asked from the jasmonic acid. So whenever you are reading the chapter of plant hormones, I request every aspirant to read entire hormones. Whenever you are reading the hormones, what exactly we have to focus on the hormone? Is it necessary to read every single part of the hormone? I request every student, we have to read every part of the hormone, starting from site of synthesis, the precursors involved and their biosynthetic pathway, most importantly the functions. Apart from the functions, most of the DL people, they will neglect their signaling pathways. I am requesting everyone to focus on the signaling pathways, are also compulsory. Now, nitrogen metabolism, you consider, friends, undoubtedly you will get the question from the nitrogen metabolism, either from the nitrogen fixation or nodulin genes or the NOD genes or the enzymes such as nitrogenase, reductase, dinitrogenase, reductase, different type of enzymes also we can get the question. And either you can get the question from name of the microorganism, or you can get the questions from the process, or you can get the question from genes, or you can get the questions from the enzymes. So it is mandatory and must and should, friends, every one of you has to read this entire unit very thoroughly, this nitrogen metabolism. Then give a minimal importance to the secondary metabolite, where understand about terpenes, phenols, nitrogen containing compound, their biosynthetic pathways, their precursors and their uses and applications also. Apart from this, I have not mentioned here in this particular PPT, we have two more very important topics, friends. One is called as stress physiology, and number two is called sensory photobiology. we have to read this entire topic. When we read the sensory photobiology, friends, majorly we have to focus on three type of pigments. One is called phototropins, second one is called cryptochromes, next one is called as phytochromes. Phytochrome, cryptochrome, phototropin. You have to read structure, functions, genes that are coding for their signaling pathways also. Very, very important. Sensory photobiology, don't neglect. When it comes to the stress physiology, of course, we have to focus on variety of the stresses, friends. But overall, everyone focus on oxygen stress, then everyone focus on the salinity, right? Then focus on the osmotic stress, then focus on the freezing and chilling. These kind of 4 stresses I encourage every student to read very elaboratively. Now you know, right, if you observe the APPSC DL syllabus especially, I want to highlight one point. One of the major difference between APPSC DL plant physiology syllabus compared to the Telangana DL syllabus of plant physiology, in case of AP, in this chapter only, in the plant physiology only, biochemistry is combined, that is common in Telangana also. In the AP, especially they have included signaling pathways. Surprisingly, the signaling pathways are not there in the Telangana syllabus. Even it is not there in the zoology syllabus of Telangana or Andhra Pradesh. It is exclusively mentioned only in the botany syllabus. This is exactly the syllabus of the set or net. So whenever we are reading the pathways, we have to focus on especially GPCR signaling pathway. We have to read different type of secondary messengers, and we have to read calcium colmodulin pathway, which they have specifically mentioned, and different type of enzyme linked receptors, which we called as protein kinases and phosphatases. Of course, some students will feel this topic as a little difficult topic, but you no need to worry. I'll explain from very basic to the advanced level about this entire topic. Now, apart from this, in the plant physiology, we understand the different topics, and we have included the cell signaling also. And you know that within the plant physiology only, biochemistry also will be covered. So minimum 3 questions and maximum 5 questions will be asked exclusively from this topic of the biochemistry. I know it seems to be a very vast topic. At the same time, it is most important topic. Okay, some people, they feel biochemistry as the very difficult topic and they will just leave it. You people should not do that. Whenever you are reading more and more and more for this biochemistry, it will be that much useful to all of you. Especially we have to focus on glycolysis, Krebs cycle, ETC, oxidative phosphorylation. 90% of the students or aspirants, whenever they are reading the glycolysis and Krebs cycle, they'll just by heart the enzymes, by heart the reactions, they'll just calculate the ATP, calculate the NADPH. Sometimes questions will come in that way, but most of the time the questions will come from regulatory pathways. When the questions are appearing from the regulatory pathways, you cannot by heart them or you cannot memorize them. What all you have to do is you have to understand. You should have a brilliant understanding on the given question. Then only you can answer. Otherwise, you cannot answer. Which of the following is the major regulatory enzyme? Why that enzyme only acting as a major regulatory enzyme? How that enzyme is getting regulated? Is it regulated by the kinase activity or is it regulated by the phosphatase activity? That kind of difficult questions will be asked in the exam. So that is the reason I am requesting every student, do not leave the biochemistry, read extreme depth. Then in your syllabus, apart from the carbohydrate metabolism, they have completely focused on beta oxidation of the fatty acid. See, means how the fatty acids are getting metabolized. Where the fatty acid oxidation will occur? In the mitochondrial matrix. What is the name of that specific mechanism? Beta oxidation. How this beta oxidation will happen? Why we are calling it as the beta oxidation? What is the end product of the beta oxidation? How many acetyl-CoA can be generated? How many ATP, NADPH are getting synthesized? Which is the starting precursor? Which is the ending precursors? What are the kind of enzymes are involved? Every detail we have to focus it. And another very difficult concept in the biochemistry where most of the students will feel extreme difficulty is enzymes and its kinetics. Most of the botany aspirants and zoology aspirants also, they will just leave the enzymes parts. Please don't do like that. In the competitive exam, every single question is important. You listen my statements very correctly. Whichever the question that cannot be answered by the most of the other aspirants, if you answer that specific question, trust me, it will give a lot of value to you, and your rank will be always more compared to the others who are not answering the questions from these difficult topics. You don't need to worry. I will explain entire enzymes from very basic to the very advanced level, extreme depth. You don't need to worry about that. Now this is about biochemistry. The next simple unit, cell biology. Correct, na? If you can, most of the students can easily answer the questions from the cell biology. Easily we can get, I'm just saying, minimum 8 to 10 questions will appear. Sometimes it may go up to 12 to 14 questions also from this specific chapter. So I encourage everyone, whichever you feel the topic is easy, spend more amount of time on that. Complete the chapter, without leaving anything. As a result, whichever the other difficult topics, if you lose 1 or 2 marks over there, you can cover here. And what exactly we have to focus on the cell biology. Of course, we have to start with the plasma membrane, structure, composition and functions of the plasma membrane, transport of the membrane. What are the type of lipids are present on the membrane, their structural arrangement, their types, what kind of proteins are there, whether it's integral proteins, transmembrane proteins, peripheral proteins, how the proteins can be separated. Most importantly, every student will read about the protein and lipid. They don't read about the carbohydrates present on the plasma membrane. You have to give special emphasis on the carbohydrates also. How the carbohydrates are involved in the cell-cell signaling process. How the carbohydrates are helpful in the cell attachment. Every concept we have to focus on that. Apart from that, transport mechanism, you already know that, you read multiple times and you taught many times to the students. Passive diffusion, passive transport, active transport. In the active transport, primary active transport, secondary active transport, the differences between those two, osmosis, isotonic, hypotonic, hypertonic solutions. Most importantly, endocytosis, spinocytosis, phagocytosis, all kind of mechanisms we have to read extremely depth. Now, see, always give special importance to two things, plasma membrane and cytoskeleton. They are very unique, and unique type of questions only appears from this particular concept. Then when we consider the intracellular organelles apart from the plasma membrane, we have to focus on Golgi complex, mitochondria, peroxisome, lysosome and RER and SCR. If you ask me a question, sir, among the organelles, from which organelle, we'll get a tough question. I can say RER, SCR, Golgi complex, lysosomes, cytoskeleton and nucleus and plasma membrane. These 7 organelles you have to read extreme depth from very basic. You have to read structure, you have to read function, you have to read composition, you have to read about the enzymes present in those specific organelles and what are the diseases that are associated with deficiency of that specific enzymes. There is no need to get confused over there. You have to read everything from the organelles. Okay, most of the teachers also writing the exam, you are all very good with respect to the cell organelles. Then what is most difficult topic in the chapter of cell biology? If you ask me most difficult topic, I can say to all of you, cell cycle regulation. Most of the students just read the cell division, mitosis, meiosis, and they'll understand the differences between those two and they'll read the different phases. But when you come to the cell cycle regulation, you have to give greatest importance to the type of CDKs, type of cyclins involved in the G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase, M phase. How the cycle is getting regulated in every phase. What kind of a tumor suppressor genes are involved, what kind of CDKs are involved in what phase, how the cyclins are getting degraded. Very tough questions will come. There is a greatest possibility that from the cell biology chapter, experimental based questions also will appear. Hence, I request everyone give a super importance for the cell cycle regulation. Never ever skip that particular topic. And in your botany syllabus, apart from this, you have to read little bit about cancer biology and apoptosis. That is the programmed cell death. From there also we can expect the questions undoubtedly. Hence, please do not neglect the topic of the cell biology. If you are very thorough with cell biology, as I said, minimum 10 questions, maximum 14 questions are in your hand. And in our given MCQ book, you are having wonderful questions from basic to advanced or difficulty level questions. Make use of everything. Right. Next, I can tell to all of you 2 points. There is one chapter, or consider 2 chapters, that will differentiate your rank with the other students. One is molecular biology chapter and genetics chapter. In our syllabus, it was just written as cytogenetics. This chapter seems to be very simple, friends, but trust me, this chapter is extremely difficult chapter. You can get the questions very basic, you can get the questions from moderate level, you can get the questions extreme difficult also. We can say that these 2 chapters are kind of deciding chapters, friends. But I can tell you, compared to others, if you become perfect in these 2 chapters, trust my words, you can crack the exam very easily. Number 1 chapter, molecular biology. So I will simply tell you what you have to read in the molecular biology. I can't explain in 5 minutes about this chapter. For me, it will only take 20 days to explain this chapter to all of you. Especially we have to focus on replication, transcription, post-transcriptional processes, translation, post-translational modifications, followed by the gene regulation. We have to focus on replication in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, including the rules, enzymes, the process. Rules, enzyme, process. Then transcription in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, post-transcriptional processes which is happening in the eukaryotic organisms alone. Translation in the prokaryotic and eukaryotes, post-transcriptional modifications which is happening in the cytoplasm. Most important, gene regulation, especially we have to focus on the operons. Apart from this, there is one more topic which is called as a DNA repair mechanisms. From the DNA repair mechanisms also very frequently we can expect these questions. Suppose example, if I am reading the DNA replication, how can I read that chapter? Whenever I am starting DNA replication, first we have to understand rules of the DNA replication. Then we have to understand enzymes involved in the DNA replication. Then we have to understand most importantly the process, because the questions will be linked with everything. Suppose example, if you are reading a post-transcriptional processes, most of the students just read what is 5' capping, what is 3' polyadenylation, what is splicing. If you just read what those processes are, you can never answer the question. You have to understand in 5' capping, how does that cap is formed, what kind of enzymes involved, what are the major mechanisms, which phosphate group is removing from what carbon, from what molecule, everything you have to read. In the splicing also we have to read different type of splicing, self-splicing, spliceosomal mediated splicing, trans-splicing, alternate splicing, RNA editing mechanism. We have to read extreme depth. If I want to explain the molecular biology, it will take 2 to 3 days to explain very depth. Then you imagine how difficult questions may appear in the exam. You no need to worry about that. Even though you do not have a basics, I will explain you from very basic to advanced level. But if you have a good basic knowledge, trust me, we can easily crack the questions that are asking from this specific unit. Right. Next, genetics. Again, most of the botany students are confused or someone feel uncomfortable with this particular chapter of the genetics. See friends, molecular biology chapter and genetic chapters, it is not about your knowledge. It is about how we are going to apply our knowledge. See, because you are going to join as a degree lecturer, right? So you should have a basic knowledge to application knowledge of the specific topic. Then only you can, you can apply that particular knowledge during a specific experiments or whenever you are teaching to the other students. So you always require from basic to application knowledge, then it will become easy. It's our responsibility to make all the concepts to become extremely easy. Everyone has to read Mendel principles, where we have to read about 3 laws. Anyway, everyone will read about the 3 laws. Apart from these 3 laws, I want every student has to focus on statistics also, which is much important, friends. Okay. Most of the people don't read the solve the statistical problem. It is very important, friends. You have to follow the statistical problems, that is the multiplication rule, addition rule. Compulsory we have to solve the numerical question. Apart from the Mendelian principle, that is apart from monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, trihybrid cross, test cross, back cross, apart from this, most of the time questions will appear from extra Mendelian principles, means which are not following the Mendelian pattern, such as codominance, incomplete dominance, pleiotropy. The most important concept, epistasis. In the epistasis also, friends, we have to read variety of topics of the epistasis. Variety of topics we have to read. Okay. Dominant epistasis, recessive epistasis, duplicate dominant epistasis, duplicate recessive epistasis. We have to read multiple type of the epistasis also. Apart from this, one question fix in your mind. Undoubtedly the question will appear in the upcoming exam, that is transformation method or gene transfer methods in the bacteria, such as transformation, conjugation and transduction. Very important. Everyone just read the definition of conjugation, transformation, transduction. You don't get that much simple question. You will get what are F plus cell, F minus cell, what happens whenever there is a mating occurred between F plus and F minus, what is HFR, what happens whenever the mating happened between the HFR and F minus, what happens whenever there is a mating occurred between F prime with F minus, and what are the type of transformations, how the transformation occur, type of the transduction, like a generalized transduction, specialized transduction. There is a great possibility numerical questions also will appear. So it's must and should you have to read this particular topic. Then you have to focus on the recombination as well as the mapping also. And we have to focus on diseases, Mendelian disorders and chromosomal abnormalities also. Both botany people also as well as zoology people also has to focus on this. Don't worry, we are there to explain every topic in a very simple and elaborative way. Next, rDNA technology. Anyway, most of the botany students also feel a little easy with this specific unit. But sometimes we can get numerical based questions, we can get diagrammatic based questions from this specific chapter. We can easily crack it with a good understanding of the concept, where we have to read about different type of plasmids or different type of vectors, I mean to say, starting with plasmid, cosmid, then followed by the phasmids, then followed by the bacterial artificial chromosome, yeast artificial chromosome, mammalian artificial chromosome, and most importantly the questions will come from the enzymes. What kind of enzymes are involved? Different type of a restriction endonuclease enzymes. At least you have to remember 10 to 12 restriction endonuclease enzymes along with their restriction sites. That also we may expect the question in the matching form. Then followed by cDNA libraries, genomic libraries. Apart from that, every student has to focus very elaboratively on the transgenic plants, and especially example. Here you will get a direct question. Trust me, you will get a direct question. Type of methods of gene transfer and especially their brand names. What is the name of the transgenic plant along with their brand name? I will provide you the PPT with a crystal clear information. If you remember that, it is 100% sufficient. You can easily answer. Apart from that, the direct questions will appear from the soma clones, then cryopreservation, germplasm storage, somatic hybridization, clonal propagation. They will give a condition, they will ask which method is applicable here. Okay, very straightforward and direct questions only will appear from here. Okay, that we will discuss from very basic to advanced. Okay, these are some of the topics. Then I didn't keep this specific slide, that is the chapter of ecology. This is also extremely important unit, friends. You can expect a minimum 10 to 15 questions specifically from this particular chapter of the ecology. And if you consider the chapter of ecology, It's very simple, friends. I'll summarize in a simple way. We have to read individual organism. You know very well, group of organisms is population, group of different population is community, group of different communities become ecosystem, group of different ecosystem will become biome, then followed by the biosphere. So in very simple words, from here we have to read entire concept. Okay, suppose example, you just consider the number 1 topic, organism. When we are reading about the organism, we have to read about habitat and niche of that specific organism. Then whenever we are reading the second topic, what we have to focus on here, how the organisms are avoiding the competition. So where we will be discussing about the competitive exclusion principle or the Gauss hypothesis. And one of the toughest topic in the entire ecology is population ecology. Very important it is. Here you can expect the questions from the graphical. Here you can expect the questions from the numerical also. We have to read almost all. In the population ecology, you can get the questions from density, dispersion, population growth curves, age distribution patterns, right? R and K selected species. From multiple areas you can expect the question. When we consider the community ecology, again what we have to read in this particular concept of the community ecology, we have to read all the type of community interaction. Don't worry, I'll provide the PPT, you'll get a complete information. And before taking the lesson also I will tell you. You will get mutualism, commensalism, amensalism, parasitism, predation, every kind of interaction. Sometimes the question will come from even symbols also. Then the number 4, ecosystem ecology. When you are reading the ecosystem ecology, friends, you have to focus on the food chain, you have to focus on the food web, you have to focus on the pyramids. And most important topic where most of the students will neglect is the productivity concept. Primary productivity, secondary productivity, gross primary productivity, net secondary productivity, net primary productivity, all questions will appear. Then when it comes to the biome, this is also a question which is asked in the Telangana exam, more than twice. All the type of biomes we have to read. Every type of a biome, grassland biome, forest biome, tundra, chaparrals, different type of biomes, tropical rainforest, every kind of biomes we have to read. Then when it comes to the biosphere, we have to read completely about the pollution. Majorly you focus on the air pollution and water pollution. There is a one specific topic you all people know about it, that is conservation biology. This is again they have given in a separate unit named as plant resource and utilization, where madam already explained, where you have to focus on the data all over India also, especially Telangana and Andhra Pradesh also, you have to know about it compulsory, especially national parks, biodiversity hotspots. These two are very important, followed by the tiger zones, national park, biodiversity hotspots, then sanctuaries. Then you have to focus something special called as concept called as species extinction. How the species are getting extincted, that also we have to focus extremely depth here. Very important for the exam, 100% you can get the questions from here. Anyway, whenever I am discussing the topic, once again I will explain every single subunit extreme depth, and I am requesting every student, okay, please do not call me if you are not passionate about the exam. Please do not call me just to ask the information. Please don't waste your time or my time. If you are really passionate that you want to crack the exam compulsory, then only you call me. Okay, I am there to help you in every single step of your preparation. The students who cracked both GL, JL and DL, Botany and Zoology in the state of Telangana, mostly from our institute only, especially TGPSC General Botany, I mean to say TGPSC General, that is gazetted post, mostly from our institute only. I'll bring all the aspirants also. You can understand their preparation strategies, how they put efforts, how many number of hours they studied, how they solved the questions. You can understand everything. If you're really passionate to crack, then you call us. Okay, we are there to help you. Once the batch started from April 4th, I'll give you the complete 75 days timetable, day wise and day wise time when the test will happen, when you can get the MCQ books. If you want to crack the exam, you have to get the book compulsory. Okay, because remember, there are two type of students are there. They don't read anything, they will directly solve the MCQs. You never qualify the exam. There are other type of students, they will only read the concept, they never solve the MCQs. Those kind of students also never qualify the exam. If you want to qualify the exam, you have to read very well, and at the same time you have to practice completely. Then only you can crack the exam. Okay, April 4th, mostly 5 or 5:30 AM onwards class will start. The details or the timings I will provide it to all of you by April 3rd. Okay, in the tomorrow session I will do the complete syllabus analysis of the zoology. Okay, if you have any kind of a doubts, you can contact us via WhatsApp. Right, I hope everyone know about the number 861-830-1827. Kindly do not disturb with unnecessary messages. If you are really passionate to crack the exam, ask exam related information. We are really happy to help all of you. Okay, thank you all. Thank you so much.